It's called the trust triangle. And it's this idea that in order for people to trust you, you need to fulfill 3 parts of the triangle. The reason why Dr. Christine Lucer told me this is because she had remarked, Chris, you have incredible latitude with your audience. You're able to say and do things and they still feel like they trust you because you've hit all 3 points. And I'm leaning in right now. I'm like, what are these trust triangles? I need to know what it is that I'm doing subconsciously or unconsciously. The top of the trust triangle is authenticity. Do you appear to be the person that you present yourself to be? Now we know if we look around, there's lots of people who are still confused, not that they're evil or malicious or trying to trick you, but they don't know who they are, so they try to project an image that they think you will accept. And this is a pretty common behavior because we're socialized to adapt to our environments to try to fit in. So what we do is we go along to get along. This happens to a lot of us where we repress our individualism for fear of being ostracized by the group. This has happened to many of us where we feel left out. We're the kid that no one wants to play with, no one invites to the birthday party, and it can bring up powerful, painful childhood memories. So the top part is authenticity. Then the next part to the triangle is, do you have a logical way of thinking that somebody can follow? So if you're authentic, and you're saying something, but the logic doesn't make any sense and people can't follow it, well, we think then the trust factor will go down. That makes a lot of sense. The last one is, does the person feel like you genuinely care? Do you care about them? Are you looking out for their best interest? So now we have the 3 points to the trust triangle. Are you authentic? Do you have a logical way of speaking or thinking that they can follow? And lastly, do you genuinely care about that person? Now, many of you might watch me on YouTube or listen to me on LinkedIn or X or Twitter, whatever it is, and say, gosh, he's one cantankerous mother trucker. Like, why are people still here? Because deep down inside, I believe in my heart of hearts that they know I genuinely care. And my way of showing that I care is to tell people the truth. I'm not gonna mince words. I'm not gonna be cruel. I'm not gonna judge you, but I'm going to tell you the truth as directly and as clearly as I can. And I wanna quote Brene Brown here. She says, choose discomfort over resentment. And what that means is when you have clear boundaries, when you communicate clearly, it might be uncomfortable for you in the moment, but at least you're articulating your thoughts and it will prevent you from feeling resentful to the other person. When someone overstays their welcome and you don't say anything, you're repressing your true feelings, creating resentment in your heart that the other person should have figured this out. This is the root of a lot of miscommunication between lovers, between friends, and between clients and vendors. Now, I was asking Christine, I wonder what it is where salespeople fail on the trust triangle. So what I would quickly rule out is they do seem to have a pretty logical flow and a process where they can talk about what you need to do to get the results that you want. They take you from your current state to your desired future state. They talk about the problems and steps you need to take. That's usually not the issue. I thought at first it was about authenticity, because when we see people trying to sell us something, we think, oh, you're so fake. You're a scam artist. You don't have any experience. I don't know who you are. Why can I trust you? You appear to be too friendly, too gracious, too generous, and there's something that's off. And we feel like a funny thing inside of our gut, so we don't trust them because we feel that they're inauthentic. And so a lot of you are inadvertently doing this by trying to be somebody that you're not. So if you want more people to trust you, just show up as you are and accept the fact that you're not going to be for everybody. That a certain group of people will like you for who you are, and the rest of the people, you don't need to get to know them. But Dr. Christine Lucer said, I think it's because I don't think they genuinely care about me. All they care about is a sale, which got me to think, I think she's right. More often than not, you just don't feel cared for or that they care. So a lot of times, some of you are slipping into my DMs. We've not had a conversation. You don't follow me. You actually don't even know anything about me. And you say something like this. Hey, Chris, big fan. Curious, what are you doing with your emails? I know a couple things about this already. Number one, you're not a big fan. You don't follow me. You don't know that we send out emails. You don't know anything about our business. So it's one of the most inauthentic things that you're doing. And I know all you care about is getting to the next step in the sales process. So what I do, block, delete. So if you're sitting here thinking, hey, Chris, everybody's talking about authenticity. Aren't we all truly authentic? I would wager mostly not, because we're socialized in Western culture to do what the group wants to do. So here's an example. Let's say you want to go eat sushi and everybody else is like, want to eat burgers. You're going to say, well, yeah, I think I like burgers too. And you just compromise. In a lifetime of these small compromises, you start to forget who you are. And this is one of those things where we have to spend a lot of time doing inner work. We have to reflect as to who we are, what our preferences are, and to have the courage to show up and say those things. Now, one of the greatest fears that we have is to be rejected and to not be loved and to be pushed out and to be labeled as something other than what we are. And that's such a powerful negative emotion that we'll do anything to avoid that. So what I would do is perhaps sit down with some people you really love and trust and know that they love and trust you as well, and invite them to tell you about you. Maybe you can ask them something like, what is your favorite memory of me? What is the thing that I do that really irritates you? And you have to be ready to ask these questions and to hear the truth, because they can also sense your discomfort. And when you show that your discomfort, what will they do? They'll start to lie to you. And this happens all the time because it's what we've learned to do, to be polite with each other so that we can get along and socialize. So I hope that helps you. Sit down with some friends, get to know yourself better, and to have the courage to show up as yourself, and you can discover wonderful things.